And we are done with the season. It is the end of the NASCAR Cup Series season. Ryan Blaney is your champion, the first in this finale era to not win the race but still win the championship. I want to thank really quick one person, well, a couple people, but in general, but really quick. I can't really show the shirt, but my grandma and grandpa got me this cool shirt saying statistics is my superpower because I like stats and all. So shout out to y'all. And my brother, his favorite driver, gets the win. I know it's not making everybody in the chat happy, as I've seen so far, but we have plenty to talk about. I think it's proof that you don't need the driver who wins the championship to win the race for it to be good. I'm right now going to right now I'm gonna post a poll for y'all on top of the one we have in the community tab. Was this the best Phoenix finale? I personally think so. I'd say that honestly the ones in the Gen 6 era weren't all that good. The last couple really, in general, all of them haven't been that good. This, I could say, was objectively a pretty fun race. And it's, I know it's not as good as Homestead. But I'd still probably give it a 7 out of 10. Like, I thought I'd give it a passing grade for today. But right now, watching Ryan Blaney continue to celebrate. Larson coming up just short. Let's get into this race. We'll look at the super chats in a bit. And I'll keep track of what y'all are saying in the chat too. But looking right now at the finishing order, Ross Chastain got the win by 1.23 seconds over Ryan Blaney, the champion of 2023. Kyle Larson in third. Fourth is William Byron. Chris Buescher in fifth. Sixth is Martin Truex Jr. Seventh is Kevin Harvick. Eighth will go Denny Hamlin. Ninth, McDowell supremacy. Michael McDowell getting that top 10 finish to end the season. And Bubba Wallace with a solid top 10 run, finishing 10th today. Now, I know a lot of you Byron fans are all sad about it, but I'll spoil what I'm going to put up on Wednesday for you upset Byron fans. He at least won the Winston Cup title. So you at least have that, I guess, if you want to play pretend with me. I do feel for y'all. Y'all had a great year. Suarez comes home 11th. 12th is Austin Dillon. 13th is Eric Almirola. 14th, Ryan Preece. Brad Keselowski in 15th. 16th, Chase Elliott. 17th, Alex Bowman. Joey Logano 18th. Carson Hocevar in 19th. 20th is Eric Jones. Ty Gibbs in 21st. Then Reddick, Stenhouse, and Briscoe round out those on the lead lap. First a lap down, Kyle Busch in 25th. 26th goes to Harrison Burton and J.J. Yaley, a lap down in 27th. 2 down for Ty Dillon and Justin Haley, 28th and 29th. 30th, 3 laps down, will go Todd Gilliland. Then Corey LaJoie, 4 laps down in 31st. 4 down as well for A.J. Allmendinger in 32nd. 33rd, 6 down is McLeod. Then Ryan Newman, 34th, 7 laps down on the day. 11 laps down for Austin Cindric after having his toe link break during the race. They're able to fix it, get him back out there. And in last place, final 4 candidate, Christopher Bell. Again, this race was 312 laps long. It was 2 hours, 53 minutes, 18 seconds, 18 lead changes among 8 leaders, 4 cautions on the day, including 2 stage yellows. And that's your season. I'm going to show you guys right now the finishing order up top right here for the NASCAR Cup Series 2023 finale. Real quick, before we get into the race itself and talk a bit more about Ryan Blaney, Kyle Larson, William Byron, and Christopher Bell, I'll read a couple of y'all super chats. We'll talk about Kevin Harvick as well, kind of like Hunter Nixon fishing for 10. Saying, as a Harvick fan, this was a very emotional day. Also, I would not say Blaney has finally arrived as an elite driver. Wow. He did just win a championship. By the way, click the like button, get over 100 likes on the stream as we go. And let's keep it on. Hunter, thank you for the 4. or the 5, I mean. I think NASCAR's realized we've caught on to the fact the champion had won the previous 9 years. Also, Phoenix put on a mid-race per usual. I honestly thought it was better, personally. I thought it was a solid race. I'm not expecting it to be a barn burner, but they were actually able to race each other. They were able to get people back and forth up the board. I did not really think it was as bad as some people are saying. Let's see. James, thank you for the 5. Let's go. Blaney, Team Penske, back-to-back championships. Ford, 3 for 3. Ford gets a sweep on the weekend. And then Tyler McGonigal, I'll end off on you for a moment. We'll go into it, and I'll watch the chat a little bit more here. For being a member chat for 4 months on here, saying, F this race, F this track, F this format. Salty 24. I don't blame you. I really don't. Because William Byron, I think, had the best year out of anybody in the NASCAR Cup Series. When it comes to wins, consistency, laps led, all of it together. But Ryan Blaney will officially in the history books, as he is out of the car again, celebrating with the confetti, will be your 2023 champion. I would say, though, Blaney at least has shown a bit more of a clutch gene than he ever has before. I think that his legacy in the sport is definitely cemented now. I don't think that I don't think he's as lowly as many people were saying before. But that's just my opinion on it. You know, y'all can disagree. I'm just happy. I gotta say, I'm happy just because, you know, every time I've been able to talk to Blaney, he's a good dude. Like talking to him. And he's my brother's favorite driver too. So I can't be too upset with that. But I will say the fact that they have not interviewed the race winner in Chastain or Kevin Harvick in his final race is a slap in the face. Come on, NBC, interview those guys. I get you have to interview the champion, the championship guys. You got your championship interview. You got your Final Four interview. Why have we not talked to Ross Chastain, who won the race? Why have we not talked to Kevin Harvick, who is in his final race and has done more for the sport than almost any driver out there the last, decade or so? I definitely think that is something that they need to do that quickly. I don't think they're going to, though. But yeah, I'm not a fan of that. Real quick, let's end the poll. Was this the best Phoenix finale? Yes or no? 79% say yes to 21% no. And then I guess I'll ask favorite race of the weekend. Cup, Xfinity, or trucks. If you're voting trucks, you're voting demo derbies. So what was your favorite race of the weekend? Let me know down there. Let's get into this a little bit. Let's talk about this race, starting with stage 1. William Byron won the pole, and he led early with Harvick keeping pace. That was pretty much it. The first stage, in my opinion, was not all that fun. It was kind of the normal Phoenix. It was everybody riding around, just sort of, doing their thing. Byron won the stage over Harvick, Chastain, Bubba, Larson, MTJ, Buescher, Jones, Bell, and Blaney. That's your stage 1. There's really nothing to talk about in stage 1, in my opinion. At least personally, I don't think there is. Stage 2 is where I think a lot of the stuff started heating up. Stage 2, you had the race off pit road. The 24 beat everybody out, and it was the 4, 1, 5, 17 behind him. Blaney in 8th, Bell in 9th. Blaney, for a lot of this day, did not have the best of the championship 4 cars, let alone best car out there. The first half or so of this race, it was Byron, until Kevin Harvick would get up top, past Byron for the lead, and Blaney would start moving up in the second stage at this point. It was Byron, Blaney, Bell, and Larson at one point 3 through 6. They were never outside of the first 100 laps. They really were never the ones to beat. They never were the ones who were dominating. It was Harvick up there. It was Truex up there. Truex finally showed up. It only took 10 weeks for him to do so. It was Chastain. By the way, I don't think we've done this enough in here. And since I don't know if the broadcast will highlight the race winner, spam some watermelons in the chat. for Ross Chastain. Man won the race, held off championship battles behind him. Spam some watermelons in there so we can just celebrate the guy who actually won the race. Yeah, get those watermelons spammed in there as we go. There we go. There we go. Awesome. 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 The big thing really, and we'll talk about this person a bit more in depth with this because of their season and how it ended. On lap 110, Christopher Bell would lose the brakes, smash into the wall, and would be out. Dead last place finish, 4th in the final standings. It was definitely a sad way for his season to end, but I'm telling y'all, Bell is getting better and better, and he's going under the radar because people, when they think of JGR, are going to think of, I think they'll think of the other 3 drivers over Bell. You're going to think of Truex as somebody like, he's still good, but when's he going to retire? Hamlin, always running his mouth. You're always going to think Denny Hamlin with Joe Gibbs Racing. Ty Gibbs, probably one of the most disliked, I won't say unlikable, disliked drivers in the Cup Series. Christopher Bell might be the best performing driver in his team for most of the year, and he always slides under the radar. I'm telling you, watch out for Bell. And no, it's not enough of the melons. Keep the melons coming. We like all sorts of melons. Take that as you will. Clip that as you will. Keep the watermelons going. But I'm telling you, I think Bell is going to come back just as strong next year. He is somebody who is consistent. He's winning more, has that clutch gene in him, depending on what you're looking at and what time of the year, too. So I don't think this is anywhere close to being the end for Bell. I think he might make it 3 in a row. I think it might be 3 in a row that he is up there in the Final 4. And real quick, I want to tell y'all, if you don't follow me on Twitter, I put a funny tweet out of basically Dale Jr. told us since January that Ryan Blaney is going to win. Dale Jr. had the script and he leaked it to all of us, and we did not heed his warning, his talking about it. Man, if whoever Junior's picking come January for 2024, I'm putting like $20 on him. I don't know who it's going to be, but if he picks an underdog, here we go. Finally, we got Ross Chastain's interview. It only took like 20 minutes after. We finally got Chastain on. Are we going to get Kevin Harvick? Please tell me they interview Kevin Harvick. But I'm glad to see Chastain getting this. Chastain's another driver I think is going to be very good coming into 2024 as well. So keep an eye out for him. I think that Trackhouse might have had that sophomore slump a little bit with Chastain. Let him cook, man. Let him cook. But going back to the race recap, on lap 116, we had a restart between Harvick and Chastain. Byron tried to get the lead, but Ross would get it. At this point, it's 4 and 5 wide in the pack. We're thinking there's going to be a giant-ass crash. Cindric breaks his toe link about, I'd say, 15 laps later. And Logano would get up into the wall similarly, but not have any real issues. Butcher would get to the lead about 20 or so laps after that, winning the second stage over Chastain, Harvick, Byron being the top of the championship guys going into the final stage. Then Truex, Blaney, Larson, Bubba, Brad, and Jones. And here we go. Kevin Harvick having his interview right now. Man, another driver I remember watching when I first started watching, leaving. I think now it's, I say Kyle Busch. I think Kyle Busch might be one of, if not the only driver that was in the first race I ever watched. I don't know. What do we spam for Harvick? Spam some 4s in the chat for Harvick. I want to see a lot of 4s in the chat right now for Kevin Harvick, because I think he deserves a bit of spam too. So spam some 4s for Kevin forever if you want to. Put everything you need or want into spamming for Harvick. 29s, 4s, 29s, put them all down there. Forevers, those 3 things, put them all down there. Kevin Harvick, an amazing career. Unfortunately, doesn't get the win in that final final season, but for the equipment he had, for what was put up against him, I think a pretty darn good final season for Kevin Harvick. Ends off his career with a 7th place finish. And listen, we've seen the way that greats like Jimmy Johnson, Tony Stewart, Dale Jr., how their careers end, how Carl Edwards' career ended. This is about the best way. I'd say maybe Jeff Gordon. I think Jeff Gordon definitely is the only one that beat him, but Gordon and Harvick probably had the best endings to careers that you could ask for. Harvick didn't wither away and run with 5 top 10s in his final season and not really have anything to show for the last year, 2, 4 years. So if you're a Harvick fan, it could be a lot worse. It was, I think, a great way to end off, and a great way to end off as well, for the most part, for Aric Almirola, 13th. Spam some 10s. Put some bacon emojis in the chat if you got them. Bacon emojis and 10s in the chat for Aric Almirola, who had another, I think, a solid run to end off his full-time career. After finishing, I believe, 2nd last week. Yeah, put that bacon. I want to see the sizzling chat. Bacon and 10 in the chat, too. And, man, SHR's losing beer and bacon. That's tough, man. They're losing beer and bacon next year. Anyway, let's get to the final stage real quick. We can talk a bit more about the other championship guys, talk a bit more about Blaney, read your super chats. I'm loving all the bacon in here. Yeah, I mean, like right here, real quick, talking about the Harvick side of it. Like AC Fairgrounds here, which I'm assuming you're around Auto Club California here. You could be a Jimmy fan during COVID when they canceled your hometown track. Yeah, I mean, they canceled that, I think, after he retired, though. Because I had that race in 2020. But, still, you could be a Jimmy fan in the last couple of years. Let's get to the end of this race. Final stage here. The race off pit road, the 1, 24, 19, 12, and 5. That's your top 5 off. On lap 194, you have the restart where Chastain leads. The 19, 24 are fighting for it, and Byron gets it. It wouldn't be until about 100 to go where Blaney now... They had made adjustments to the car. The car is finally running well. And they catch up to... he catches up to William Byron for the title lead and gets by him. And at that point, it's Blaney's to lose. I don't think outside of the final pit stops and restart, I don't think Blaney really had it outside of his control. With 73 to go, the 24 and the 5 are the first to start a pit cycle. And then Blaney follows them in. Larson now is up to 2nd. And as much as Byron tried, at this point, Byron was eliminated. I mean, he had a good pit stop, we'll talk about in a bit. He had, a fast enough car to be in the picture, but push comes to shove. Willie B, at this point, he's beat by Larson. He's beat by Byron, or by Blaney. The car is going away, and it was a great season for Byron. Most wins, probably the most consistent, led the most or some of the most laps out there. Had that penalty, but that was buried so far back. And if you're a Byron fan, as frustrating as this has to be, the one thing I think you can hold solace in is that Byron took that step this year. There's a reason I didn't pick him to make the playoffs going into the year. I will fully admit that. Last time I'll probably talk about it. I'll fully admit it now. I had predicted that. Bad prediction, but there's a reason why. He did not show that he had taken that step. And what he did this year, he didn't just take a step. He took a freaking leap. He went a country mile forwards. Byron went from somebody who was a fringe playoff guy who everyone expected to be eliminated in the round of 12. If he made it to the round of 8, wouldn't be really that much of a contender. Byron now is somebody I think week in and week out, year in and year out, should be considered a championship guy. And that's a kind of respect that I don't think Byron fans got before. The debate always was between Bowman fans and Byron fans, like Bowman and Byron. Who is the weak link? It is not Byron. It is not at this point. He is here. He has arrived, and he is young too. I think he's younger than me. He's going to turn 26 in the offseason, I believe. So he's going to be around another 10, 15 years, possibly 10 to 15 years of consistent winning and consistent championship level performance for Byron. If you're a Byron fan, it's got to sting. But I'm telling you right now that it's probably going to get better. It probably is. Now, let's get to the final 50 or so laps. There's a great battle, three-way battle between Blaney, between Truex, between Chastain, and they are battling for the lead left and right. Blaney gets beside Ross, but Ross, even with them making contact, stays ahead. Truex goes 3 wide on the bottom. Blaney clears them now, but Ross has a crossover in 3 and 4, gets the lead back the next lap around. Blaney trying to shove it in too aggressively, ends up getting beat by Truex now. And it's then the 1, the 19, and the 12. But again, with about 40 to go, Blaney now is by Truex. He is catching up to Chastain. And all while this is going on, Kyle Larson has went from about 3 seconds behind the 12 to a second and a half, less than a second and a half. I wish that we could have seen that continue on to the checkered flag, but unfortunately, with 38 to go, Kyle Busch would spin the car out. He would bring out the yellow, and it would change everything. But I'm telling you, that battle right there, best racing. And the thing is, that's not, championship implications with all that, because Blaney could have just held it back in third, but he wanted the win. And in a lot of ways, you kind of do know in the championship, you do have to win to move up there. But those other two guys, Chastain and Truex, they're battling hard for a win. I think Truex now has something to prove in a way that he hasn't had since the DEI days of proving he is not just somebody who's falling off. That team is not a team that ran 25th every week. And you got Chastain, too, who has basically disappeared since Nashville. Yes, he's had his moments. He made the playoffs, cut line, all that stuff. But at this point, like, they all had something to prove up there and battled hard. And that was probably the best. I will say this now, that 10 laps or so, or 15 laps, is probably the best racing that we have seen at Phoenix since the reconfiguration. I will not go to say that it is the best finale racing we've seen. That still all goes to Homestead. But to me, that was the best we've seen from Phoenix in a long, long time. And it's proof that you can race well there when you have the right drivers with the right cars with the right everything all mixed together and pushing together. We're in the poll, by the way. Favorite race of the weekend, 64% of y'all going with the Cup race, 31% Xfinity, and 5% of you are masochists who love the truck race. But now, after that racing, we got to move on from that. It's on to the pits. The 11 and the 43 take 2 tires, kind of spicing stuff up. Larson and the 5 team are able to get him off of pit road first, ahead of Chastain, Byron, and Blaney. And we have a restart with 31 laps to go. The final 31 laps of the season all run under green. Thank God we didn't have some stupid green-white checker or any of that stuff. But with it, you have the restart 3 wide for the lead. On the outside, Ross Chastain. In the middle, on 2 tires, a valiant effort for Denny Hamlin. Down low, Kyle Larson. And he knows he has to get it at this point. The 11 falls out of it. He doesn't have the car, doesn't have the tires. And at that point, it is Larson v. Chastain. Those two are the ones who are battling for the win. And you have the 11 right behind him. 24 and 12 are battling now as Blaney is trying a hard charge up towards the front. Blaney clears Byron for third with 28 laps to go. And with that, you know that the 5, the 12, the 24, while the 24 was under a blanket with them, he's fallen back. It's the 5 and the 12's battle for lap after lap after lap. Blaney tries to follow right in Larson's tire tracks. They get side by side with 20 to go, coming to 21 to go, and finally, Blaney clears him, runs away. Listen, Blaney had the best probably car out there at the end of the championship, guys. Larson, though, in my opinion, still is the most talented driver in the NASCAR Cup Series today. And if you're able to beat Kyle Larson head-to-head, you are able to beat the driver who basically everyone says is the man to beat every week, no matter where you go. To me, that's just as impressive. I don't care how good or bad the car was. I don't care about this or that. What Blaney did today was a very impressive finish. When the biggest pressure was on the line, he was able to deliver. And I think a lot of people need to remember that. Yes, we can all have what we think about the playoffs. I hate the playoffs personally. It's just not my thing. I can't stand them. But you also have to appreciate what these drivers do. They are legitimate championships. It is a system everyone plays under. And Blaney was able to capitalize the most off of that after some pretty clutch runs the last couple weeks. And what I'm happy with, too, is that we didn't have the stupidity of the truck race. We didn't have a bunch of guys trying to crash each other, because it was, you could definitely tell if Blaney wanted, he could have taken anybody out that he wanted to move forward. He could have taken out Ross if he was so upset with him. And he was upset, and he was showing a lot of emotion. But he didn't. He raced like a professional. He raced like a driver who should be in the NASCAR Cup Series. And that's up to me. That's about all that you can ask from these guys to do. Now, two guys to look at here. Big one is for Kyle Larson. Comes up second, bridesmaid on the season. Gonna have to wait till 2024 to get that second NASCAR Cup Series championship. And in my opinion, I don't care what you say about system, what you say about Larson, what you say about all of it. If Larson is to cement himself as one of the greats when it comes to NASCAR, when his career is said and done, he needs to have multiple championships, and I think he also needs to clean up the mistakes like he had at Homestead. The up and down nature of Larson's career is something that, in my opinion, is fun to watch, but at the same time, it needs to be cleaned up long term. He's still a younger driver. This is the youngest Final Four ever. And I do think that Larson is going to be back as strong as he was this year, probably stronger next year, because I don't think they have as many issues next year. I don't think they have 8 DNFs next season. I think they probably have more wins next year. So Kyle Larson, in the same vein as his teammate William Byron, he is somebody who I see. Oh, wow, Eagles are winning. He is somebody that I see being a championship guy for basically as long as he wants to race. 10 years, 15 years, whatever is the length of his career from this point forward, he's going to be up there. Watch out for him next season. As for Blaney, like I said, I think I said pretty much all that could be said about Blaney at that point. He's at a different level now. He is. Let's see, I believe Kyle Busch and Joey Logano are the only 2-time champs up there. So it's very possible he could join, of the active drivers left, he could join as one of 3 that wins 2 championships next year. So looking forward at 2024, I am excited. The next gen, I think this past season, if we're talking about 2023 into 2024, I thought the next gen this year, I'd say raced about the same as last year. I think people overreacted about how, bad it was overall. I think the short track package needs a lot of work. I think super speedways still need a bit of work too. There was a lot of good stuff shown at the super speedways this year, but there definitely still needs to be that work done to it. It really reminds me, when it comes to that side of it, of 2014 into 15. They continued to make it better. I'm not worried about that. Now, NASCAR talked in depth of what they are looking at doing. They're going to be doing testing to see if they can fix the short track racing. I think it got a lot better at the end of the year, especially with what we saw at Martinsville. But, man, it really does need to be taken up a couple steps. It needs to take the leap that William Byron had this year. Make that the short track leap as well. As for the intermediate racing, I'm loving it. I really am. I hope that it doesn't change all too much. They're definitely have to tinker with it. The teams are going to be able to test whether it's on a sim or just, with different things, and you need to keep them in check to keep the racing where NASCAR wants it. But I can't wait to be at Kansas next year. I can't wait to be at whatever races I'm at next year. I think that next season, I think there's a lot of people who I think need to prove themselves next year. I think Chastain and Trackhouse overall probably need to prove that, hey, we're not going to fall off year over year. Last year was an anomaly, or 2023, I should say. I think that Elliott probably has a chip on his shoulder, and I'm telling you now, I think Chase Elliott is a championship favorite going into next season. He had an off year this year, and he still was probably, when he raced, one of the 5 to 6 most consistently fast guys week over week. And you get him back on the right track, I think he's going to be right there with his teammates. Alex Bowman, another one, had his season derailed early by that back injury. He needs to prove that he can race, I think, as well. I think Hendrick overall might be one of the most interesting teams to watch next season. You got Joey Logano. Is he going to do his bi-yearly championship fours and maybe win a championship next season? It's going to be a lot of interesting storylines, I think. Going into next season, I'm excited. I know people, I'm seeing the chat, y'all talking about Fox. We'll talk about super chats in a bit, I promise. But I definitely want to see what y'all overall in the chat are saying. But when it comes to, and when it comes to Fox, NBC, NBC, I'm excited for. Fox, they got to improve. But they're going to be back. They are after this. I'm excited for Daytona. I'm excited for a bit of an off season. I'll let you know. I don't think I've taken a day off since June, which I'm fine with. I love the sport and I love doing this stuff. But I can definitely take a few weekends off. By Thanksgiving, I'm going to be missing this more than ever. By the way, while y'all are here, I don't know when we'll do it, but we're going to probably do a driver draft again over the off season this time. So keep an eye out for that. NWP on Eric Estep's channel. Please check that one out. It's going to be a lot of fun to talk about, especially for y'all in the chat when it comes to your pick points. And then this Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern time on IDK Players channel, I'll be live doing commentary of a 500-mile Michigan race. It's going to be a lot of fun too. But yeah, I think that covers about all. Long show, I know, but we still got super chats to look at. I appreciate it. I'm looking in the chat. Is there anything y'all want to have polled? You want a poll in here while we finish off tonight? I'm definitely, I get it, yes, pending inspection, but are they really going to do all this stuff, have their big hoop blah, 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 and whatever, and then take it away and be like, oh, actually, this happened right here. It's Kyle Larson that got the win. I don't think so. And maybe we'll do some race watch-alongs, too. Maybe we'll do that. Where's your championship? Where's our chat championship banner? Hang the banner, Chad. Hang the banner. I guess we'll end on this. What did you think of the 2023 NASCAR season? How about we end on that one? We don't have real. Let's see. We can put great/good, meh, below average, or hated it. And if you've watched in Living Color, hated it. So what did you think of the 2023 NASCAR season? Great or good, meh, below average, or did you hate this season with every fiber of your being? While y'all vote on that, and yes, at least the Cowboys are losing. Let's watch it. I mean, if you all want me to do a 2000 Daytona 500 race watch along, I might do that. Maybe I will. Ooh, that's a good one in chat. What did I think of Cindric's sophomore season, and do you think he can improve? He can definitely improve. His sophomore season was abysmal. I expected way better from him, especially after how, in my opinion, impressive his rookie year was. Well, let's get into these final super chats of the season. We'll be live at different points of the offseason, but definitely not week over week. And by the way, post-race streams coming back in 24, so we will be doing this after the Clash next year. Do not worry about that. I appreciate y'all coming out. One of the biggest turnouts of the year. 1,500 race watch along. That's gonna be brutal. We can try it, man. We can try it. All right, Irvin, thank you for the 10. The captain smiles above once again, as it was a damn good year in American motorsport. Yes, I pictured him as hovering head, smiling in all motorsports being raced in America. CBB, thank you for the 10. Thanks for the fantastic season covering racing. I appreciate it, and I am going to be back next year for sure. God, next year is going to be my 7th year on YouTube, which many of y'all are happy for, and I guarantee there's some like, do y'all see Suarez's girlfriend going off like on Twitter and then blocking everybody? Like, I've never associated or like talked to this person ever, and I'm blocked by her or something on Twitter. I saw that and I was like, what the hell? What the hell is going on? Like, why? Hey man, I'm staying out of controversy though. I don't, you know, what, maybe one a year that really isn't all that consequential is fine for me. But I'm definitely gonna be coming back next year. He says also, with Blaney winning, that completes the championship sweep for the Blue Ovals. Who said Ford's at a disadvantage? Hey man, they got it when it mattered. Isaac, thank you for the 5. I guess it only makes sense that the Star Wars fan would take the title race with the Star Wars themed cars there. Yeah. Hey, how about this? Because I'm seeing y'all putting them in. What was she mad about? She was, I guess she said it was like, I don't know what exactly she had said because can't see her tweets. But it was something to the effect of like karma for Bell crashing, and then like some people were saying other things. Y'all, how about this? Y'all want to see some race watch-alongs? We'll put them in the comments after this stream's up, like in the comment section. By the way, we're almost at 200 likes, so be sure to like the stream, and also subscribe if you're new. We won't be doing this in the off-season, obviously, but we do these post-race streams all the time after races, and I want to have y'all being able to watch. Now, I won't be able to do anything. Yeah, it has to be before 2013, and I will not be doing it off of the NASCAR Classics channel, as that they don't like that, which I respect. That's their stuff. All respect to them. But man, I don't know what was going on there. There was a lot of stuff going around there, and I just don't know what the hell was going on there. Thank y'all for the likes, by the way. It's awesome. Also, thank you to Nawan for, well, you're a member and your first super chat. For 2, saying sucks what happened to Bell. I agree. I do agree on that. I wish Bell had a better shot. I think he would have been up there with those guys battling for it. Just again, something out of his control takes him out of the championship. I'm still think he's going to be I think he should be a favorite for the championship for next year. Carl Singleton, thank you for the 2. Best 2023 champ. Rhodes, Custer, or Blaney? I'd say if you're talking about best performance, Custer. I think he had the best performance in his respective series this year. Rhodes is the one I think kind of Mickey Mouse did a little bit. But hey, we got drunk Ben Rhodes again, so I'm cool with it. Twin Spinner, where'd it go? It just reset on me. Where'd it go? My God, thank you guys. You guys came out in force on that part of it tonight. Watch a 1949 race number 1. I don't think it's recorded, but I appreciate the option, Alessandro. Let's see. Twin Spinner, thank you for the 5. I know Blaney has High Point, North Carolina listed as his hometown, but I still claim him as an Ohioan. Yeah, I mean, you could say the Ohio man got a NASCAR championship and the Florida man won the race. You got the best of both. Imagine 19 action. Yeah, I know, Irvin. I know that'd be something. It'd be a very slow race. Captain Tanker Joe, thank you for the 20. Hulu got their act together for me this week. Still had a little trouble in the beginning. I think this race was fair. Happy for Blaney. Upset Byron didn't win. He just couldn't get his car good enough. That's about how it went. NASCAR Fanatic 2425, thank you for the 10. Congratulations, NASCAR. 0 for 3 on legitimate champions in 2023. Missing rings for 2023 along with Hamlin, Corey Heim, John Hunter Nemechek, Christopher Bell, William Byron. Oh, I can tell you now, I believe the William Byron one should come out on Tuesday. We'll probably just do one just because of the wins and everything with that. But missing rings, William Byron will probably be either tomorrow or Tuesday. Daniel, thank you for the 2. This championship race was an all-time classic. I'd say, especially for those who really love the playoffs, this is definitely a classic. And I gotta say, maybe I'll rank all the finales since 2014. I would think this might be a top half finale. At Phoenix, no less. So I'm happy, man. Say what you want. Like I said, I don't like this format per se, but I do want to see good racing. And I don't want NASCAR to fail. And today was good racing, was good title battle. It's what I think a lot of people wanted. Probably what those up top wanted, especially after the circus truck race we had. So, that's about my thoughts on it. You can tell it's the end of the season. I'm having issues just talking. And that's all I do, as you can tell. Hunter Nixon Fishing, thank you for the 5. Meant to say Blaney has arrived as an elite driver. Stupid autocorrect. Well, yeah, I think he's up there. I think he's still kind of fringe, but he not in the sense that he was before. He certainly is not a Casey Kane, because no matter what happens under any format, Casey Kane would never be a NASCAR champion. Carl Singleton, thank you for the 5. Cool stat. Brad Keselowski, Joey Logano, and Ryan Blaney all got 10 wins and a cup before their 30th birthdays. Interesting stat, as I will say. That is very interesting. Milton's in the chat saying Homestead 2014 was the best. Okay, how about this? I'm not going to leave it as a poll because there's too many options, but let me know, what was your favorite finale from 2014 to 2023? Let me know in the chat. Just spam the year in there. Let me know, and I will try and keep an eye on it. Y'all, when you spam it, it flies, man. It flies. Let's see. Thank you, Sly Supersonic, for the 1052. Ford drivers won all 3 championships. I'm proud to be a Ford F-150 driver. What does Ford stand for? First on race day? Type Ford in the chat if you're a Ford guy. Well, also do that too on top of your favorite championship finales. And it's actually, there's a lot of them up here, man. There's a lot up here that I'm surprised. There are a lot of earlier ones. I can definitely tell that. It's all Homestead ones. But it's definitely a bit more split than I thought it would be. I thought it'd be a lot more just 2014s. I like it, at least it's a lot of different finales y'all can go back to. See in the chat, Dirty Def says Casey Kane didn't drive for Penske under this format. True. Twin Spinner, thank you for the 5. Dale Jr. held his championship pick all year, and it ended up being right. I'm telling you, I'm Dale Jr. Actually, if I meet Dale Jr., I'm asking him to buy me a lottery ticket because he's lucky enough. We could split it. I'll give him the money if he is the one who does the transaction. Marky Bark for 12 says, yes, we did it. Dale Jr. picked him from the beginning. Yes, he did. And damn good pick at that, too. Dale Jr. knows what he's talking about, man. I'm telling you, Dale Jr. is the modern-day Benny Parsons. It's the same energy. It's the same scaring the hell out of you when he yells about trouble or a wreck. I cannot wait for Jr. to be back in the booth next year. NASCAR Fanatic 2425, thank you for the 2. I'm hungry for watermelon now. Should we spam more watermelons in the chat just to make NASCAR Fanatic a bit more hungry for watermelon? Spam watermelons. You know what? Spam a watermelon, a 4, a 12, whatever y'all want. Spam something in the chat as long as it's not crazy. Spam it in there. We got a car on the wall. There we go. Yeah, Junior is the best. Yeah, watermelons, 4s, whatever it is. Ghosts, if you want, for Bailey Curry. It's the end of the year. Bacon, spam some bacon in there. I don't know. Do they have a beer emoji for Harvick? Yeah, as long as it's appropriate, spam it in there. We got some, and we'll keep going. Where do I think Dale Jr. will race next year? Asks Sam in the chat. I'm not gonna lie. I'm still thinking Martinsville is gonna be another one again. He loves that track, man. There's the beer emojis. Spam that beer in the chat. I wish I could have one after. There's some 24s in there. Have some fun with it, man. I love it. I love it. Up in the Reds for 2 says Ryan Blaney got that dog in him. Marky Mark for 5 says Google All-Star Open 2016, and you'll see a screenshot of Elliott, Larson, and Blaney crossing the line. I remember telling myself, future champions, and they all are champions. I remember watching that because I actually watched it back when YouTube was not as strict on copyright stuff. And I remember watching it sitting in bed because 2016, I remember watching that sitting in bed and enjoying the hell out of that race. It was a hell of a race. Back when you could get away with streaming live sports on YouTube that you did not own the copyright to. Carl Singleton for 2. Kyle Busch is the old man in the garage. Yeah, Kyle Busch and Denny Hamlin. I remember when both those guys were like young and rookies, and now that's crazy, man. That is crazy. Chrome Diesel, thank you for the 5. I hate this format. All it does is prevent my favorite number 24 driver from winning the title despite having a great statistical season. I don't blame Byron fans. It is a system it's under. It's a legitimate championship, even though I don't think the system itself is all that great. It is still Blaney's championship. But I do feel for y'all Byron fans. He had a great season, and he is continuing the legacy of the 24 by being the best all year and not winning the championship. I hate saying it like that, but it's pretty true. It's so Jeff Gordon-like in every way. Even the penalties. If you look at 07 compared to 2023 with the penalty and not even that not holding them back from being the best all year. Rough for y'all 24 fans. James, thank you for the 99 cents. No comment on there. The Elmeister, thank you for the 2. Under Winston Cup points format, who's champion? William Byron would be the champion. At least according to how I did the penalties. I don't know how the Twitter account does it, but that's at least how I've tabulated it. Kevin, thank you for the 5. I'm very happy for Ryan Blaney winning the big one this year. At least it's better than Denny Hamlin winning it. I don't know, man. Denny Hamlin, somebody going into next year. I could very well see him making another run at the Final Four as much as I could see him start to fall off. Gage is going to be catching up with him soon. How old is Denny Hamlin? I'm looking it up now. Denny Hamlin is 42 years old. He will turn 43 on November 18th, 13 days. Denny ain't getting younger. Antar Das, thank you for the 5. Time for my annual rant of how the playoffs suck and how both Steves and everyone involved with the playoffs need to be fired for the health of this. I mean, to be fair, I do think that the Steves have done a lot better than previous ownership, and I think that the sport is a lot healthier than it is now, or than it was then in 2018. Michael Kelly Gilliam, thank you for being 7 months on that member chat. Can we do another members-only race stream? I think we can. Yeah, I don't think that's out of the question. I'll definitely have to find the date for it, but I'll let you know. It's difficult to set all these up just because of time and stuff, but there's more time in the off season. Yeah, Denny's the old man in the garage. Red Dog 81, thank you for the 5. Yes, Tyler McGonigal, let me taste your tears. Damn. Y'all are brutal. Congrats to Blaney. Byron had a good year, but not clutch today. Damn. I mean, no matter what, Blaney's sister wins today. Whether it's Byron or Blaney. Hunter, thank you for the 5. Maybe random pop-in streams similar to this during the off season. We'll do some kind of stuff probably. I think I did one last year, which was kind of fun. But we'll let you know. Alexander, thank you for the 5. I want to get, let's see. I want to get knocked out and wake up in November of 2009 to see Jimmy win his 4th straight. I don't like Ford or Blaney. Pain. Damn. Yeah, I don't think you're going almost 15 years back. Steve, thank you for the 2. I'm numb, but great year for my boy Byron. Yeah, I do feel for Byron fans this year, man. And Martin fan for life, thank you for the 2. Thank God, no end of race mystery caution. Yes, phantom cautions. Andrew, thank you for the 5. As a Blaney fan, I'm elated. What a race. I've never had a favorite driver of mine win a cup. And then he says his favorites were Dale Jr. and cousin Carl. Picked Payne, man. My brother's favorite. See, my brother's favorite driver was Carl Edwards. And then he went to Blaney. So I'm happy for my brother today. Alessandro asked, Jarrett, which chase format do you prefer personally? If I had to choose a chase format, it'd be the 2004 to 2006. It's just, in my opinion, it's the most legitimate system. And it rewards, it's the best of both worlds, in my opinion. I hate the winner take all personally. Congrats on Josh Dobbs. Yeah, hang the banner. We're going 9-8 instead of 8-9. Wonderful. Yeah, I love the Vikings, but my God, they're infuriating. I did get, like I said, I got my Dean Lowry jersey. That's pretty cool. Rocky Gordon, thank you for being a 1-month member. Thank you for the member chat. I thought Harvick had it for a bit, but great race. Yeah, I do wish Harvick would have won. That would have been so badass. But he does continue that streak of 20 straight top 10s. Again, if you're a Harvick fan with how this year went, I would be happy. I mean, as a Dale Jr. fan, say where Jr. finished in his last race. I can pull it up right now. It was like 23rd or 27th or something. It was awful. So there's a lot worse ways for your driver to end their career. Pulling it up now, and you guys probably tell me before I get there. 25th. Yeah, Dale Jr. finished 25th in his last race, so it could be worse. It could be much, much worse. T-Web, thank you for the 5. Grew up 5 miles from the Blaneys, and I worked with his grandmother. It's a real different feeling being semi-connected to the family of a NASCAR champion. I bet, man. I mean, I've been able to get to know a lot more drivers, so it does make it really cool to see them succeed. And I can't say like I know Blaney as much, but it's cool as like every time I'm at the track, I'm able to talk to Ryan Blaney, and it's awesome seeing somebody who's so cool and down to earth away from the cameras, just like he is in front of the cameras, win the championship like this. I'd say a great guy definitely won it, and a great ambassador for NASCAR moving forward got the championship, and I can't be upset with that. I think there's a lot worse representatives for NASCAR that could be in that seat right now other than Ryan Blaney. Marky Mark, thank you for the 2. Cindric 2024, probably not, but I think the goal for them should be to make it at least to the round of 12 next year. I think that's where the goal should be. They should not be wanting to do what they did their first year. I think that was a fluke for a rookie season, especially of that caliber. But I do think next year he should be somebody that can make it to the playoffs and pass the first round. I'll be very disappointed if he doesn't. And then up the Reds, currently the last super chat on here says for 5, if you think that's brutal, Liverpool fans have a chant calling Diego Costa the Elephant Man. I wish I understood what that meant, but I mean, I'm a Vikings fan. Stuff's rough, man. Stuff can be very rough. So I do know how brutal it can be. Oldest American franchise without a title. Woohoo. Because we don't count the 4 NFL championships that were in the start of the Super Bowl era. But that's a talk for another day and another sport. We're going to end the poll here on what y'all thought of the season. Waiting for the results to come on up. What did you think of the 2023 NASCAR season? 79% of you were very positive, good, or great. 16% said it was meh. 2% said below average, and 1% of y'all hated it. Milton, thank you for the 2. The aging track helped make this race good. Yeah, I will say, don't mess with Phoenix anymore. Like, just let it be for a while and let it age into a really good track. Because when they messed with it in 2011, I think it had finally aged into a great racetrack. At least a good racetrack, serviceable for what it was. And they kept freaking messing with it. The Lions look good on ending that Super Bowl problem. Nah, I mean, if you saw how they played the Ravens, that they're not a Super Bowl team. The Ravens right now are the ones I'm looking at. But again, you're looking for NASCAR, not football, so I should probably stop putting us off track. But that's the season. We've done damn near every single race this year for a post-race stream, and I have a feeling we'll do more next year since I figured out how to do them at the track now. I figured that out way too late. I wish I could have been live right after Wilkesboro when I was there. But 24 and 24, that could be a possibility. I guess last a little bit as we end off here. Spam in the chat who you think is winning the 2024 championship. Let me know. Spam it in the chat. Just the number, whether it's 24, 9, if the 18 comes back, let us know. And we'll go from there. But y'all, as y'all spam those in, thank you guys for such a fun year. I will be back on Wednesday on Eric Estep's channel. We'll be back after races next year. And I'll be back on Friday on IDK Players channel. I'll be on a lot of other people's channels this week. So be sure to check them out. And subscribe if you're new. We do stuff all off season. We're going to be doing videos and shorts all off season. A few live streams here and there. And a lot of setting up for 2024. 2024 is going to be a big year. So can't wait to see y'all come in there. Been live almost an hour now. Good Lord. But thank you guys so much for watching both this stream and every stream this weekend, month, years at this point. Can't wait for next year. Best is yet to come. And y'all have a fun off season. Later, y'all.